Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of HBO Max. We're back, baby. This week, we're talking about Ocean's 11. Before we get into that, joining me, as always, is my co-host, Brandon. Brandon, how are you today?
Makenna, I think you have me confused with somebody else. My name is Ramon, as you can clearly see here.
I'm so sorry. Ramon is joining us tonight. And our special guest, Alec. Alec, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Hell yeah.
The number one HBO Max fan is
Yeah.
on HBO Max.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So before we get into our thoughts, I have some fast facts and figures.
You want to tell us what movie we watched?
Oh yeah, we watched Ocean's. So I said it in my head. I guess it did not come out of my mouth.
Yeah. I mean, you clicked on the podcast, but still, formalities and whatnot.
Yeah, Ocean's 11, by the way. That is the movie that we watched. And here are some fun facts. Came out December 7th, 2001. Let me tell you what, 2001, big year. Came out at the tail end.
For a lot of reasons.
Yes, for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had a budget. My alarm's going off. Apologies. My budget, I'm all over the place. Let me tell you what, hour and a half of Jeopardy. This is gonna be a podcast, all right.
You're riding high.
I'm riding high, baby. Budget $85 million. Box office $450.7 million. Made his money back. Lost a lot of money.
It made a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's the bit. It's the fifth highest grossing movie of 2001. Would you guys like to guess the top 4 movies of 2001?
Spider-Man?
No.
No? Wasn't
No.
Spider-Man 2001?
It's not number 1 through 4.
What?
Because the only movie I can think of from Phantom Menace was way before that. That was a couple of years before
99,
that.
right?
99.
The first Lord of the Rings movie is 2001, right?
Ooh, good one. That's
Because
a good one.
I remember, I think I went and saw Lord of the Rings while this was in theaters as well. Because I think Lord of the Rings came out like late November.
Is there any Pixar or Disney movies that came out in 2001?
Oh, you know what? Harry Potter. Harry Potter did.
Harry Potter's number 1.
We talked about
yeah.
it because we talked about we talked about Lord of the Rings when we talked about Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Sorcerer's Stone was 1. Lord of the Rings is 2. And then
I think there has to be a Disney movie in there. I just don't know what would have come out that early. Tarzan?
What was it, McKenna? What was it?
It's Monsters Inc. Technically Pixar, I suppose, but
Pixar,
Monsters Inc.
yeah.
was 3, and then Shrek is 4.
Oh,
and
wow.
then Ocean's 11 is 5.
Spider-Man was early 2002. My bad.
2000.
I remember that one because the Two Towers trailer, the Twin Towers trailer for Spider-Man. So I just always assumed it was 2001.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Ocean's 11 spawned 2 sequels, made into a trilogy: Ocean's 12 and 04, and Ocean's 13 and 07. And then there was an all-female led spin-off, Ocean's 8 in 2018. This movie is based on a 1960 movie by the same name that starred 5 members of the Rat Pack, including Frank Sinatra. Mark Wahlberg and Johnny Depp were both considered for Linus, who was played by Matt Damon. Marky Mark turned it down for Planet of the Apes. Another
good decision.
Yeah, was it?
You know.
No, it wasn't. But Mark Wahlberg wouldn't have been good in this movie.
That's a very good point.
Owen and Luke Wilson and the Coen brothers were considered for the twins, but the Wilson brothers turned it down to be.
They were doing Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah, and then it didn't.
The Coen brothers I've never seen the Coen brothers act. I don't know why the
Yeah.
studio was like, you know who should play these guys? The guys who made Fargo. We should get those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it on the Wikipedia page. I was like, no. I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's all right.
It would have added an extra level to this movie that would have been really funny.
Mhm.
Especially because like the Coens do, like they work with George Clooney a lot. I don't think they had worked with him yet, but I can't think if there's another Coen actors in this one. But yeah, George Clooney's a big one for them.
Mhm. Huh.
Maybe it was Clooney. Maybe Clooney wanted to work with the Coen brothers.
Maybe
Yeah.
Clooney,
Maybe they're just
Clooney
friends, I don't
wanted
know.
Coen. It was adapted as a Japanese musical in 2011.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, that was
There's a Japanese musical, Ocean's 11.
allegedly.
I need to YouTube that.
We need to watch that.
And the Claire de Lune, which is played at the end. This is for me. Is performed by the Philadelphia Orchestra. You know, has a little tidbit in there. I saw Philadelphia. I was like, gotta put that in. You know, I know about that city just a bit. The Bellagio let the movie crew both. They had full access to the Bellagio, and the security team let them tap into the security system to grab real footage of it. Which,
Oh, that's cool.
That's neat.
hell yeah.
Definitely would not happen today.
Oh no. No.
I think it depends on who you are. Maybe Steven Soderbergh wouldn't be able to do it as like this is like what his second or third movie. But like if like Christopher Nolan or somebody asked them to do it, they probably would.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Why not? Let's go. Let's see
Let's
what
go
happens.
ask.
Yeah. We're HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max. They know.
As long as
Right.
they just hear us say it and not see how it's spelled, we'll be fine.
Yeah, just we work
Exactly.
at HBO Max. We need to do this thing.
Yeah.
You know, you get
It'll
it.
be fine. Your movie or the Ocean's 11 movie is on our service. Technically, after this goes up, it will be.
That is technically true. We do have Ocean's 11 in our catalog.
Yes. We got it. No biggie. Rusty's Dr. Wig was the wig that Mike Myers used in Austin Powers. His rehearsal wig, excuse me. Sorry, want to make that clear. His rehearsal wig that Mike Myers used in rehearsal.
It's so weird.
I know. Wasn't expecting it, but here we are. The cast gambled during downtime, and there's a dispute over who won the most. George Clooney says Matt Damon. Matt Damon says Brad Pitt. Who knows? But Clooney lost blackjack 25 times in a row, so that's all we've got. So you know. And then my final fun fact: the actor that played Yen, this was his movie debut.
He killed it.
He did. He was practicing for his acrobatic troupe, and people saw him practicing, and they were like, "Yo, should audition for this movie." Here we are.
He's really good in this one, and then like we're not talking about him, but in the next two he plays even like a bigger role and like has more character stuff, and he's really, really good in these movies. I assumed he was an actor.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So yes, that wraps up fun facts and figures. You know, it's a good time. Let me tell you what. So Brandon,
Yeah,
I know that you like this movie a lot.
this is one of my favorite movies.
I did not know that.
It is seriously like top 5 favorite movies. Ocean's 11's one of them.
I feel like you might have some fun facts, maybe.
I don't really have fun facts. It's more of just like one. I mean, the cast in this is just insane, right? Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Don Cheadle, Elliot Gould, like just everybody. Julia Roberts, like everybody in this movie's awesome. It's got Elliot Gould, who's like one of my all-time favorite actors. He's in the original MASH movie, and he's Ross and Rachel's dad on Friends. and he's amazing. He's really, really good in everything he does, and he's amazing in this movie. I love him. It's just a really, really good movie. It's a movie that I always put on when like I'm not really doing anything. It's a really good background movie because the dialogue flows really good, and it sounds snappy, and people have fun jokes and stuff. The camera is always moving around. There's a lot of energy in the movie. Everything looks really, really pretty. There'll just be shots of like the backs of two people's head, but it's lit up in like different colors and stuff. It always looks really good.
A lot of orange in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The music drops in this, or the soundtrack is incredible. Like somebody will just say a really cool line, and then just a bass will boom, 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 and then like cool jazz music starts playing. It's so cool. It's just it's an enjoyable movie to be around for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So good. Alec, I'm curious, because you chose the movie this week as our guest. I'm curious about why you chose this movie. Which, like, I can see why now, but like, why this specific movie?
So heist movies have always been one of my like favorite genre, and it was started really with these movies or with this movie because, like we said before we started recording, is that this movie and its two sequels are on TV constantly. So it was just always one of those movies that was like, oh, this is cool, let's watch it. And it was one of those movies I never saw it like start to finish. I always like popped in like midway during the heist or like as they're planning the heist. I never saw like the first maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, something like that. But it was like I said, it's just one of those that jump started that love of the heist movies. Like you got the comedy, you got the action, you got the suspense, they give you everything. And that's part of the reason why I think Fast Five is my favorite Fast and Furious movie, because it's a heist movie.
Yep.
But this one, it was I had a coin flip decision because I had a couple I was going to choose from. The other was going to be Godzilla King of the Monsters. But then I decided to go with this one because it's like I haven't seen this movie in forever.
Which Godzilla King of the Monsters? Because there's two Godzilla Kings of the Monsters.
Oh, it was the new one.
The new one. Okay, I was gonna say because we've talked about doing the old one for a couple.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because now that I'm don't live with my parents, I don't have cable anymore, so it's like it's something you don't realize you miss it. Just flipping through the channels, like, oh, this movie's on. It's like a lot of times just like I'd rather play a game than watch movies, so I don't spend the time to just like take an hour to just watch a chunk of a movie. But yeah, this is just one of those movies that was kind of I don't say guilty pleasure, but just those movies that's like I could just put on anytime and just kind of relax to and just enjoy the good vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this movie is, like I said before, this never seen it before, but I've played the casino heist in GTA 5 a lot, and this sort of reminded me of it, mainly only because it's the casino connection. But
Gotcha.
I was like, oh shit, I was like I'm playing GTA right now. It was fantastic. Well, of course, a lot more elements than GTA can do, but it was such a fun time. Like,
Yeah.
it was like there were a few points where like they're not gonna be able to pull it off. They're not gonna pull. Spoilers. They did. They did the thing.
Which they spoiled early in the movie exactly how they were gonna do it when they like get the practice fault, and he's just like, "Oh, is this like for rehearsals?" It's like, yeah, sorta.
Well, you don't think about it when it's happening. One of the really like genius things about this movie, and some people don't think it's genius, some people think it's bullshit, but the movie just lies to you.
Oh yeah.
The characters will literally do things that don't make sense, and they're doing it just for you, the audience, to see them do it. So that why do they lie to Linus about everything that's going on? Apparently, it's just to mess with him, but it's mostly so that the audience has dramatic stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
This movie like really changed up heist movies, and it's sort of the blueprint for heist movies now. Where before, if you go watch the original Ocean's 11, it's whole half of the movie getting the crew together, setting it up, planning out the heist, figuring out what they're going to do. Then they go do the heist. Ocean's 11 is the movie that was like, when we're telling you what we're doing, you're actually just going to see us doing it. We're doing the heist right now.
I loved that so much. That's one of my notes. I loved, oh my God. I love when movies do that. It's like they're telling you what's going on and you're watching it like in action.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Let me just say, I was going to say, George Clooney in the late 90s, early 2000s, he's a looker.
Oh, we're doing back-to-back Clooney movies.
We are. I just...
Yeah, we just did like mid 90s Clooney, and now we're doing early 2000s Clooney. The hair is switched up dramatically.
If this turns into a Clooney podcast, I'm fine with that.
We're gonna go through every George Clooney.
You was it Batman and
Batman?
It was
and Robin?
Batman, or was it Batman Forever? I always forget which one.
His is Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. Okay.
Forever,
oh yeah, because that has the
Val
credit card.
Kilmer,
yes.
I think.
Yeah, because
The Iceman.
Yeah.
It's George.
Let me say George Clooney. He's a looker.
Yes.
He's big fan of George Clooney. Big fan of the clone.
Yes, we love the clone.
But another thing that this movie like set the gold standard of is the like getting the crew together scene.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's really cheesy and ham-fisted in this one. It's like if you did the exact lines now, it would be like your parody of a heist movie in like Community or whatever, where he's like, "You're gonna need a crew as crazy as you are. Who you got in mind?"
I love getting Saul that scene.
Yeah.
Going down to Florida, just like, I knew you were there.
Okay, so this is one of the things I want to talk about with this movie, because the movie is a heist movie, and this is like one of the most common things that's talked about this movie. It's a heist movie, but it's a movie about making movies. The heist is making a movie, and so George Clooney, Danny Ocean, is the director. Brad Pitt's character is the producer. He's the one going out recruiting the talent, getting all the guys. Ruben, Elliot Gould's character, is the money guy. He's the studio exec funding the movie. Yen is the stunt man. Linus is like the new up and coming actor who he's gonna be the breakout star of this movie. Saul is the old veteran actor you're bringing out of retirement for this movie. Basher is the special effects team, and then the two brothers are like the gaffers and cameramen on the crew and stuff. Like, it is just a movie about they're making a movie, and it's really good.
I love that analogy so much.
That is a great one.
That's so good. Oh my God, it's true. Wow, good movie.
Good movie. Very, very good movie.
Now thinking about the brothers that you just mentioned, when they like leave the elevator when they switch outfits, reminded me of Hitman. This just reminded me of a bunch of video games I'm just now realizing. Or it's like when you have to like switch the clothes in Hitman to not be detected. It's like, oh, hell yeah. Never
See, the way one thing I will say I'm a little disappointed about is like, because it pans down and shows like, the clothes there. It's like, that never came back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I had a close up on that. It's like, I don't know. It's just one of those things, like, because it's been so long since I've seen this movie, I didn't remember every single detail. So I assumed that would come back at some point, but it never did.
Right.
No, I think it's just supposed to be like how quick the turnaround is on everything and how like fast they're moving it. They're changing in the elevator and stuff. Like, to be like, yeah, they didn't go back up to the room and then change and come down. It's like they changed in the elevator. Shit's moving fast.
Mm-hmm.
We going. No stopping. I also realized I think this is my first like Brad Pitt movie that I've seen in the entirety of ever, including animated and live action. We watched Troy in high school like a little bit, but that's like a 3-hour movie, and we only watched it because like kids were on retreat.
Movie.
It's very yes. So I think this is my first full length Brad Pitt movie.
He's really good in it.
He is pretty good.
He's got that weird hand tattoo. He's literally eating in every scene that he's in.
Yes, I saw a fun fact on that on the IMDb page. It was to show that like he didn't eat in his downtime, like he was always working.
Well, yeah, like he doesn't have downtime, so
Right.
he has to eat while he works.
Yeah, so that was.
But that's also just like it seems to be a recurring thing for Brad Pitt because like there's a lot of movies where he eats. Like he eats all throughout Moneyball. He's constantly eating. Like
Oh yeah.
There's like an old Cracked article about it, which is like superpowers that certain actors have. Like Tom Cruise's Running's the really famous one. But like if you think about it, on movies you almost never see a character actually eat food because you look really dumb when you eat and like your mouth is full and you can't do anything while you're eating and stuff. Brad Pitt's like the only person who can look cool while shoving food into his mouth.
Right, that is a superpower.
Yeah. There was another fun fact that I read that was like in the scene when they see Julia Roberts for the first time and he's eating the shrimp. They had to like keep retaking it. He ate like 40 shrimp just because they just had to keep doing it.
That's great.
No stopping the shrimp train, you know? I do wish. No, this might just be for me. I wish we could have gotten this is so stupid, now I'm saying it out loud. A slow-mo walk of the whole crew. Just walking towards I love that type of shit so much. I would have loved to see them. Which I guess we sort of got like the lineup at the end of the fountain.
We're at the fountain, yeah.
But like
That's an iconic shot.
Yeah.
Of them just
really
by the fountain.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, another fun fact. The fountain, they had to like that railing was like made specifically for that movie. They had to drain half the fountain because it was so close to the road that when they turned around to all leave, they would just have to walk straight into the street. So they like they drained half of it and like pushed them all back so they could like leave in different directions.
Yeah, I guess
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's because I was just gonna say I was back in like 4th grade. I was out in Vegas for like the family had like a wedding out there or something. And it's like, yeah, now that you say that, I do remember that being pretty close to the road.
So I've got a fun fact for you, Makenna. I do have one. I had one prepared. I forgot about it, but I got it. Yes. One of my favorite things about the Ocean's movies is the weird con man lingo that they use throughout all the movies. Mm-hmm. Like all the names of the cons that they do are referenced, like pop culture references and stuff. So when he's first bringing Rusty in on what the plan's going to be, Rusty says, off the top of my head, I'd say you need a Boski, a Jim Brown, a Miss Daisy, 2 Jethros, and a Leon Spinks. And not to mention the biggest Ella Fitzgerald ever. So it's never been confirmed exactly what those are references to, but people have sort of like figured it out over the years and like made guesses. So Boski is a reference to Ivan Boski, who was a big-time trader on Wall Street before he got caught committing securities fraud. So the idea is that's probably Saul playing Lyman Zerga, like a rich guy who isn't actually rich. Jim Brown is Jim Brown's the American football player, obviously, famous guy. They think that it's when Frank attacks Linus for being racist. That's probably what that is because Jim Brown retired from the NFL early and stuff, and he was a civil rights big guy in the civil rights movement. So that's probably what the Jim Brown is. The Miss Daisy is the SWAT truck getaway car, a reference to Driving Miss Daisy. The 2 Jethros are a reference to Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies, which is the 2 Mallory brothers doing their thing, probably with the balloons and stuff, like 2 dumb idiots kind of thing. The Leon Spinks one is the one that's the hardest to figure out exactly what it means because it's a reference to the boxer Leon Spinks who beat Muhammad Ali in a big upset. That was a surprise. So it probably means turning like the blackout like a surprise during a boxing match. It feels like that's a weirdly specific con to have like a name for that you like you're just constantly doing cons at boxing matches. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then the Ella Fitzgerald is the ending with the tape loop of where they think that they're watching one thing, but they're actually watching a pre-recorded thing, which is a reference to the Ella Fitzgerald commercials she did for Memorex, which is recording tape. So yeah,
Ooh.
that's probably what they all are.
Mm-hmm.
People are smart.
Yeah, people are smart. It's like a nice, fun puzzle.
Mm.
Yeah, because when he said that, I was like, he's saying words. I don't know what they mean,
Yep.
but
They do a bunch throughout the rest of the movies too. Like I think in Ocean's 13 they actually name a bunch that are like actually like actual cons people run and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. I really like these movies. I probably watched this movie in particular like 15 or 20 times over the last couple years just because of the pandemic and being like inside a lot. I just kept putting on like Ocean's 11 got put on Netflix in 2020 and I just watched it like a bunch.
It's this time watching it back, like as I said, it's been a long time since I've actually seen this. I forgot about the twist. The twist got me about them being all the SWAT team at the end. Just blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. See, well, yeah, I've never seen it. So, like, yeah, it definitely got me. Like, because I thought, I'm going to be completely honest, thought this movie, heard Ocean's 11, thought it may have to do with a submarine or something, like the ocean.
That would be a good name for a submarine movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't. I found out. And then, like, I found out the cast. I was like, holy shit. Like,
Stacked cast.
Everyone's in this movie. I learned that I still really like Matt Damon as well. I really like Matt Damon.
He's great. I love Matt Damon.
So
Yeah.
good.
Maybe not so much in that crypto ad, but yeah, everything else.
He's done some stuff, okay?
That's true. Yeah.
He's done some stuff. He's not the most problematic guy in Hollywood, but he's done some stuff.
No. That's what I said. Just the crypto ad, you know?
Yeah. Like, give me, he grew potatoes on Mars that one time. Like,
great in the
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the only movies. Fun fact. This is Makenna fun fact exclusive. One of the only movies I've seen twice in theaters was The Martian. Because like,
It's a good one.
Oh yeah, good movie.
very good movie. I also Don Cheadle. Okay, his accent.
The accent's bad.
Yeah.
It's very bad. I have seen movies with 3 Don Cheadle movies. Any movie he was in Marvel, this movie now, and Hotel Rwanda. And 2 out of those,
That's
those
a
3
movie.
movies. That is I had to watch it in religion class my
Yeah,
senior
I
year.
had to watch that at school too. That was that is a
That's
movie.
Never
a
had to
tough
watch that movie.
Yeah, it's 2 out of 3 of the characters. Only one of them is American. Like the other two he had I'm just really like I have a trend with Don Cheadle, and I can never watch one where he's the same nationality. Apparently, that's
I do love that they gave him the Scottish slang.
yeah.
The which one of my favorite lines in the movie is "We're in Barney Rubble, trouble."
Yeah. Yep. That explosion where they like went to recruit him was like for just a little device. That was a big explosion.
Yes. So, oh my god, and the blackout of the entire city. Oh, good stuff. I did read. Fun fact on the IMDb page. Impossible to do, but hear me out. They did in Ocean's 11, so I'm sure it's possible.
Well, so it's for the size of the device they
Oh,
have,
yeah,
it can't
right.
be that big of a
Yeah.
range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
In the
I
film.
mean,
Little movie magic.
The movie magic.
The movie magic. You know.
Another probably my favorite scene in the movie it's like what I mean about like the flowing of the dialogue and why I like the movie so much is when they're sitting at the bar and he's like, okay, Saul makes 10 ought to do it.
Yeah.
You think we need one more? You think we need one more? We'll get one more.
Yeah.
Like I like that, like they're such a crew, like they're having a conversation and one of the person isn't even talking. Like it's
And he can't even see his face either because he's like a little bit behind him.
and Brad Pitt is not emoting at all.
No.
Like it's
That's-
one of those things where it's like people don't talk like that. That's not how real conversations work. But it's just the writing flows really good and the actors are just killing it. So it's good. It's really good.
That just goes to show you, like, that shows like how much those two have worked together.
Yeah.
Like in their life of crime. Like,
Now, for the sequels, does everybody come back and then they just add one or two people for their
Okay.
respective movies, or?
So in 2, Saul's there at the beginning. Saul leaves and comes back at the end. But they add Julia Roberts has to participate in one of the cons.
Oh.
And then in 13, they don't add anybody in 13, I don't think.
isn't that the one with the dude of the casinos like comes back?
No, so the second one is a direct sequel where Terry Benedict comes back and like
Gotcha.
get his money back from them. And then the third one is Al Pacino.
Right. Yep.
Al Pacino gets like screws over Ruben, and Ruben goes to the hospital because he has like a heart attack or whatever. And so that one, they're not actually like stealing money. The goal is to just make the casino lose as much money in a single night as possible.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's a fun one. The second movie's really weird. It's a really strange movie that's like it's shot like a French film and stuff. It's really strange. It's a really, really weird movie.
Interesting.
But also like one of the other things that from this movie that carries over is who Linus's parents are, because they make a big deal about who Bobby Caldwell is, and by the time you get to Ocean's 13, it's a big reveal about who Bobby Caldwell is, and it's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, because I was like, I don't know why I should care about his parents so much, but it seems I should.
They were setting it up.
Oh.
They do set it up. In this one, it's just supposed to be like, yeah, his dad's like a legendary thief, so that's why you go get that guy. But
And shout out to Ocean's 8 as well. That was a good one too.
Ocean's 8's a really good movie, but it doesn't have... What makes Ocean's 11 so good is how big the cast is, and it's just a bunch of people hanging out and just vibes. It's all vibes.
Exactly.
And Ocean's 8, it's like they shouldn't have gone with such a small cast. Well, I mean, 8's not that small, but 8 compared to 11 is it's a shrinking thing.
Yep.
And like I think they could have gone with more like big names for that I wish they would have gone with. Because like there's a couple, and then the rest of they fill it out with kind of just comedians and stuff. Where is this movie? It's everybody in the crew but Scott Conn. That's a big name.
Which I thought was funny. Like, speaking of like comedians and all that, it's like on HBO Max, this was listed as a comedy.
Yeah, it kind of is, but it's like
It wasn't in the action. You know what I mean? Like, it was only in the comedy section.
yeah, I'm not sure. Like, because there's not action in the movie, right?
True. But you know what I mean? I just thought it was weird that it was just in the comedy section.
Yeah, that is. I guess it's a bit of a strange movie to classify, but yeah, it doesn't feel like a comedy, but it is funny.
Yeah, I will say, like halfway through this movie, my sister FaceTimed me. So I would like to go back and watch it without her FaceTiming me, hopefully. But like, I mean, I still watched it. But, you know, I digress. Also, I love that they had the red lasers. It was like spy time, and then they had the glow sticks. Oh, that was so fun. I loved that.
The way the little like smoke devices, the way like they go across the floor, it's so satisfying.
Yes. Oh, what a smooth floor or a smooth device.
Also, just like sound design wise, the sound of when Yen gets his hand stuck in the thing, and like when he pulls it off, like the it's just a really satisfying sound. I love it.
It's just all of just the spy gear that they had. It just warms my heart. I just
at the beginning with Basher and having the explosives going around the vault.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. That's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Oh my god.
And Steven Soderbergh's a very, very good director. And like, yeah, he does a really, really good job in this movie of just like keeping you engaged in what is mostly just a movie of people talking about stuff. Like, he just like the camera movement. I mentioned that earlier. The camera movement in this movie is very, very important. The camera is like constantly moving. So even though it's just like they're in a room talking about how they're gonna rob a place, it feels like stuff's going on because the camera's like whoosh.
Yep.
Yes. So good. So good.
It's a really good movie.
It's just...
Other twist of like Hess getting involved and like that being, Danny Ocean's ex-wife. It's like just one of those like mid-movie twists that you just just the perfect chef's kiss.
Yeah, because like it's she you don't even like they mention his ex-wife at the very beginning of the film.
Yep.
And you like it's not even a thought that it's gonna come into the movie later, and then it does.
It does, and it's Julia freaking Roberts. Ah.
Yeah.
I read on the fun fact, George, when they sent Julia Roberts the script, George Clooney attached a $20 bill and said something like, excuse me, a note that was like, I heard you're getting 20 a movie now, because it was like when she became the highest paid actress in Hollywood and was like making 20 million a film, $20 million per film and everything. And it's the Cloon back at it.
Yeah, this was for some reason like Clooney was like really into doing this movie. Like he turned down like the movie took a while to get in production because they were having problems with like it's a big cast and they were like like they talked about like initially they wanted the Wilson brothers, they couldn't get them and they were going through all that stuff and like Clooney turned down like multiple roles to stay in the project so that he could be Danny Ocean. Like he was just really into this movie. I don't know why. I mean, it's a good movie.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many people could have actually been Danny Ocean aside from George Clooney.
Yeah, he's just
has that
he's
charisma
just
to him.
cool. He's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
He is like the kind of guy who could like steal a bunch of money from you because you would just be like, yeah, I trust you. You seem nice.
Exactly. Oh my, this is so fun. It's so fun. It was a good movie.
Just the good vibes. That's
it's this movie's all vibes.
All vibes of just, I don't know, speechless. We'll go with that.
Yep.
Yeah, like there's not much to say because like the movie's it's not like extremely deep or anything. It's just
it's just like a heist happens.
Fun movie.
Fun movie. Like
yeah, and like even like getting into the details of the plot, you can't really go through because it's like I couldn't explain the movie to you off the top of my head.
Like this part where I forget the guy's name, but they bring the guy in because they're going to bringing Danny Ocean to see Terry Benedict, but it's in that room with the
Bruiser.
Bruiser, yes.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Not yet, Bruiser." You just see him crawling through the vent.
Oh my, it's just so well planned out, and it's when things go wrong they adapt, and it was just brilliant.
Did you think Saul was actually having a heart attack?
I did. Yeah, because he was
Yeah.
getting sweaty in the hotel room. He was like having issues or whatever in the hotel room or something like that, and I was like, "Oh shit!" It's
The
this-
ulcers.
Yeah,
Ulcers.
it's happening, and then Brad
The
Pitt
reveal
comes
of the
in.
doctor when like they think he's dead, and it looks up and it's Brad Pitt in a really shitty wig.
Right. That's the moment I knew it would be fun. Okay. And I also completely forgot that this movie took place in '01, and I saw like the flip phones. I was like, "Oh, that's clever. They're using like flip phone." And I realized, "Oh no, this movie's 20 years old."
That was just
Oh,
their phones.
That was not.
was-
Oh yeah, they're gonna use old phones to
Right,
like
yeah.
do some kind of heist or something. That was. Look at these guys have like the coolest phones. These are, like the most new phones you can get.
Yeah.
I was a baby. I didn't remember.
Like I know you haven't seen The Matrix, but The Matrix came out 2 years ago, and those phones, oh my god, those things look crazy. Have you seen the phone from The Matrix, Makenna?
No.
So it's like the regular like Nokia phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for like half of it like slides up, and then the keypad's under that.
That's awesome. Oh my god. I gotta watch The Matrix specifically for that.
Just to look at the phone.
Just for the phone. Yeah, this is like I have completely gone through most of my notes were just like freaking out about how good everything was. Like
It's really good. Really good
like
movie.
I think I wrote like big fan of X, Y, and Z like 3 separate times. Just big fan.
Yeah. Like the fact where they like their whole plan revolved around getting Tess that phone.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I thought it was just funny. It's like, you gonna get that? It's like, what? Just the look on her face
Right.
of just utter confusion.
Exactly.
Who
It's
does it show who puts the phone on her?
it's when George Clooney like goes to give her a kiss on the cheek. and
Right,
Yes.
right, yeah.
Yep.
He slips her the phone, right?
Not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like slips it in by the antenna too, so it like
Yeah.
doesn't like slam in there.
Right.
He's good.
Thought
He's
of
a
everything.
professional.
Also, this movie was the first time that I've ever seen a convertible convert before. In the end,
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're driving off the convertible, I've never seen that happen in real life before, or not in real. In general, I've never seen it happen. It's just I've imagined it, but I've never seen it, and it was magic. Let me tell you what, it's so cool. Convertibles, what a car.
I would really like a prequel to this movie.
Mhm.
Because like
Oh
so
yeah.
they talk about like the heist that went wrong or whatever, and you assume like R.I.P. Bernie Mac was probably part of it because but like I like in the opening scene where like he's getting out of prison, and so they give him his clothes back from when he got out of prison, and it's like this like really nice tuxedo. Like
Yeah.
like what was going on when he got arrested wearing that tuxedo?
We need to know. Let's do it. Let's make it. Why not?
Ocean's 10
Oceans.
Ocean's 10.
writes itself.
Boom.
So there one thing that I wish that they would do is they were talking about for a long time doing Ocean's 9 or whatever it would be, or Ocean's 14. But so if you don't know, Ocean's 8 is a sequel to these. Sandra Bullock plays Danny Ocean's sister. And in that movie, she visits Danny Ocean's grave.
Yeah.
And like she's like talking to the headstone or
Probably
whatever.
not even dead or something like
Yeah,
that.
she's like, you better actually be alive or I'm gonna be so mad. And so like the thing has always been like Danny Ocean faked his death for whatever reason, and then eventually George Clooney and Sandra Bullock are gonna team up for a heist, which sounds like
I
a
would love that.
fucking great movie.
That sounds amazing. Oh my god.
Make that movie.
Listen,
Yeah.
we're gonna be able to get the Bellagio.
Yep.
So I mean,
Yeah, we'll make the movie for you. We'll do
We'll
it.
do it. Sign us up. We'll figure it out. How hard could it be?
How hard could it be to make a movie?
Yeah.
We got a guy.
Yeah. There's some people,
We know some people.
Yeah. Fake it till you make it, as the kids say these days. And you know what?
Exactly.
Yeah, we can make a movie.
We can do it. It'll be fine. Yeah, so I think that pretty much wraps up my thoughts. The entire time. Brandon.
Yeah.
Your final thoughts or other thoughts.
It's
They don't have to-
literally one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
It's good. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, why did you listen to 45 minutes of us talking about it? Just watch the movie. It's fucking great.
Exactly. Alec, your final thoughts.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Brandon. Like after watching this, like, yeah, this might be one of the movies that like kicked off my love of heist movies, and this might be one of my favorite movies of all time. So yeah, right there with you. Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Oh, if you haven't seen Logan Lucky, anybody listening to this, Alec, have you seen Logan Lucky?
I have not.
Amazing heist movie, written and directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Okay.
Starring Channing Tatum and Star Wars guy with the lightsaber. You know the one. Adam Driver.
Yep.
Yeah, and James Bond's in it too. Great heist movie. Super awesome heist movie. But one that is like Ocean's 11 is like really fancy criminals doing really fancy stuff. This is like two hillbillies robbing a NASCAR track. It's awesome. Such a good movie. Go watch that.
I've seen previews of that. I just never got around to watching it.
Really good.
Sounds incredible. Brandon, where can the people find you?
The people can find me at Aces Wild Pod on all social media platforms, and they can listen to the Aces Wild podcast, which you should do that. You should go do that.
Good podcast. Alec, where can the people find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Alec Bobko, Bobko. And if you want to listen to our podcast, it's Shared Screens. You can find us on all social platforms if you go to bio.link/shared screens.
Very good stuff over there. You can find me at PotterPants212 on Twitter, and there's a link in my bio for everywhere else that you can find me: HBO Max, Patch Notes, Simply Sassy, all that good stuff. And with that, thank you, Alec, for coming on. Thank you, Brandon.
It's a blast.
As for usual. Excuse me, Ramon. I apologize. Yep. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.